This is it. This is where the shutdown is headed. All right, I've got the audio for you on KCMO Talk Radio 904. We've got an hour until Keesman Uncanceled coming up at 10 o'clock. So we are in week 4 of the shutdown, and there is no end in sight. You heard from Roger Marshall this morning on KCMO. He's like, met with the president yesterday. This thing is not going anywhere because we're not budging. What Democrats are going to start doing is what they did yesterday. You saw this from multiple members in the House and the Senate. They rolled out videos of their constituents. And these constituents are on camera talking about how they just got their bill for Obamacare for 2026 and their premiums are through the roof. This is going to be their play. They're going to get these videos to go viral. Of course, then you'll have the media cover these videos and share these videos. And they're going to try to corner the Republicans into basically injecting the Obamacare subsidies back into the system, which Republicans took out during the big, beautiful bill. And they're going to try to squeeze them on this issue. The problem is when you have videos like this one that got rolled out by this guy, Ron Wyden. He is a U.S. Senator in Oregon. And you start to actually listen to what people are saying, you don't come away, at least I don't. I can't speak for you. I don't come away sitting here being like, wow, woe is them. Just take a listen to this couple out of Oregon. Ron Wyden, U.S. Senator out there, shared this video yesterday.
My name is Carla Zimmerman. I just retired in June from 25 years of teaching.
My name is Bartley Armitage. I've been in Eugene, Oregon for most of 45 years. I was a union carpenter for over 30 years and still a member of the Carpenters Union.
Our current premium is $443 a month.
Through the ACA.
Through the ACA, and which is manageable for us, both retirees. However, it's going up to $2,224 a month. We are kind of in shock. That's without the subsidy. With the subsidy, it's manageable for us. We still live paycheck to paycheck, but it's manageable.
Okay. Now, I know we're just sitting here in Kansas City doing our thing. Maybe we got a little bit of common sense. I know those West Coast folks think that they are, high and mighty. They know better than us. But did I just hear that woman say that we both retired and we live paycheck to paycheck? You heard that too? Okay, I'm just checking. Videos like that aren't going to work. So she worked 25 years and retired. He worked 30 years and retired. Now, if they're living paycheck to paycheck, then guess what? You can't retire. No.
Talk about a bombshell.
And then to whine about how the taxpayers aren't being stolen from enough to make your life easier. There's two things here. They can't retire, and Obamacare is a failed system. If Obamacare is only affordable, the Affordable Care Act, air quotes, if Obamacare is only affordable when the government is subsidizing it to the tune of $1,600 a month for this couple in Oregon, then it's not the Affordable Care Act. I mean, I will give the Democrats this. They are great at naming their bills and their garbage legislation. The Inflation Reduction Act that oversaw a 40-year high in inflation. The Affordable Care Act, which 15 years later needs to be subsidized to the tune of $1,600 a month for a couple who looks like they're in their 50s, give or take. He might be 60. He looks a little more weathered than she does. To make it affordable? Come on. I'm sorry, you can't retire. And I've got these arguments. I shared this on X at Pete Mundo. You can see it there. And we have a Kansas state rep who has entered the chat. And I love this. She is a local state rep in the state of Kansas, obviously in the state of Kansas. And just trying to find it here. Did she delete her response to me? No, I don't think so. Let me just pull it up for you real quick. Oh, yes. All right. Her name is Joella Hoy. I don't know. House District 17 in Kansas. She writes back to me, "Don't retire, just work until you die." No, that's not what I said. But I politely wrote back because I'm a nice guy. Yes.
Such a nice man.
I wrote, "That's a nice straw man you've brought to the conversation here. Sorry, straw person, if that's your preferred gender identification." She says to me, "How much longer do you propose that couple should work before retiring?" I write back, "That's an absurd question to ask. It's not up to me. It's not up to you as a state rep to tell somebody else how long they should work for. They should work until they feel comfortable enough to stop. And some people, you know them and I know them, keep working even when they can retire. I know a guy doing a radio show around here who could sail off into the sunset if he wanted to tomorrow. It's not me. But guess what? When you love what you do and you're having a good time, you keep doing it. I know plenty of people that don't have to work, that do work. Some of the most successful people you watch on television every night don't have to work. They love what they do. They get value showing up to work every day. They enjoy it. They don't do it because they have to. What I know is this much. I don't want my politicians saying, "If you want to stop working, we'll take care of you." No, because actually that's caused the economy to function worse than it would have otherwise functioned, right? Think about all the subsidies that we've injected into the system and how we set up the system to actually encourage people to be less productive and to then be more reliant on the government. I don't know this couple from a hole in the wall. They seem like very nice people who have worked and had good careers and probably have great skill sets that might apply to other things in life if they don't want to do what they've been doing for 25 years. I don't know. All I know is this much. Because you want to retire at 50 doesn't mean the government should be subsidizing you to the tune of $1,600 a month for your health insurance. That's not how any of this is supposed to work. Let's go to Julia in KCK, first up on KCMO. Hi, Julia. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. I just had a comment about the subsidies because at the end of the day, the subsidies is what helps us cover it.
Well, that's correct, and that's why it's a bad system.
Well, it's a bad system, but not the whole system's bad. Because without the subsidy, without that, then the normal people like myself that actually work wouldn't be able to cover our insurance plan.
So do you have Obamacare?
Yes, I do. I've had it since it began.
And do you know what you're paying into it every month?
Right now, I pay in $250.
$250. Did you get your bill for what next year's going to look like?
No, I haven't received it. I just keep getting alerts that saying it's going to go up.
Yes, and it probably will go up. Well, it depends on really what your income is and all those different things. So it's not guaranteed to go up. It may go up. So let me ask you this then. If there was a system out there that was better, that was more free market based, and that didn't cost the taxpayer money, do you think that would be a good idea?
Well, if it was affordable, but I mean, like the lady you played earlier, without a subsidy, the rate doubles or triples sometimes.
Correct, which means it's not affordable, right?
Correct.
Which means
if it was affordable, yes, I agree.
So the system, you agree, the system is broken. It is inherently unaffordable unless the government basically makes it affordable.
Correct. And that's the problem that all the middle class people and all the, working class people that are trying to afford insurance, we're stuck in kind of a rat race.
And I don't deny that, Julia. You're right. I agree with you, which is why the Affordable Care Act over 15 years has been proven to not work because it's increasing healthcare costs for people who don't have Obamacare and for those who do have Obamacare unless it's subsidized. And you're an example of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can't just drop your insurance and go buy insurance. The market is just as bad.
Yeah, I mean, there are some options.
If I didn't go through ACA,
yeah,
and I went through just Blue Cross Blue Shield, I'm going to end up paying the same amount.
Mm-hmm.
So I think across the board, the healthcare system needs to be.
Well, you're right. It's a totally broken system, Julia. Thank you. And I would say that Obamacare made it worse. Now, we talked to our guy, Kerry Hall. He hosts America's Healthcare Advocate Saturday mornings at 8. If you missed that conversation from about 2 weeks ago, it's up on the podcast. You can check it out there. Is that him actually right now? Okay. Is that Kerry Hall? Is that you on line 5?
Hello.
Hey, Kerry.
Well, here's the thing. Welcome to my world. My health care goes up every year, and I'm employed. And every year it goes up. My son is self-employed. His went out of sight when Obamacare took place, and his used to be very affordable. And why can't we go back to that? Let insurance companies compete across state lines like a free market system and put it back the way it should be. Mm-hmm. And it'll take care of itself.
Yep. And we got that. You're right. We got that before Obamacare. It was better off then than it was or it currently is now. You're right about that. 913-408-7957. And that just happened to be a random guy whose name was Kerry. But anyway, I did have on one of our weekend hosts, Kerry Hall, who does a great job explaining all of this. There are more free market options out there than people realize. And you've got to go out, you've got to find them. But they are getting very competitive, and the quality is much better than oftentimes what you're getting with the Affordable Care Act.
I have heard that even on our radio station with MediShare.
Yeah.
Right?
Options are coming because the free market always wins. And people realize this system as it's currently set up is totally broken. 913-408-7957. We'll keep the conversation going with you. Kevin Keatsman Uncanceled coming up at 10. Our caller of the day was excellent as well. That is 20 minutes away on 95.7. We just played this video for you of a couple in Oregon, and this is going to be more, I think, of what the Democrats try to do to put the pressure on the Republicans to end the shutdown, is they will share videos of constituents who are getting massive increases in their Obamacare premiums because Republicans have taken away the subsidies of Obamacare for not everybody, but for certain people who are well above the poverty level threshold. So, like, we had a caller right before the break say, hey, she pays $250 a month. She's been on it for 15 years. Without knowing her income, it's entirely possible her cost really doesn't change. But you have a couple in Oregon who goes viral, courtesy of one of their U.S. senators. They come out and they say, hey, I'm a retired teacher. He's a retired union guy, and their subsidies or their premiums are going from $400 a month to $2,200 a month. We can't afford it. This is crazy. And I think more of these videos will come out in the days and weeks to come from Democrats of their constituents to try to pressure the Republicans. Will it work? Mike is in Olathe. He actually does this for a living. So, Mike, give me something good here on this.
I can give you an example of this week. Actually, I wrote a plan for a family in Wichita that makes $140,000. They're only going to pay $288 because they get like $1,600 a month in subsidies. Do they need it? Well, the one I sold yesterday is a $32,000 young woman in Wichita who gets a subsidy, and her bill's going to be zero, but she's only getting a $250 subsidy because that's all it needs. So the insurance companies control what the cost is, but the cost for the family it would be normally about $1,700-1,800 without the subsidy, but they can afford that, but they don't have to. So it's keeping the companies from having to actually change the way they do business or make any kind of adjustments to help. I look back and I think Dems are going to hold out and keep doing this because it's going to be I don't think they had any premonition that it would be like this when they put this thing in place for 5 years. But John McCain putting his thumb down is coming back to haunt the Republicans because they couldn't fix it then. And now the Democrats have a huge, huge bit of leverage here. And the Republicans have got to be a little nervous. They may want to do something on their own before the shutdown because it's going to be millions of their constituents that are used to getting the subsidy. Do I like it? Heck no. Is it right? No, but it's real, and it's what people have gotten used to, and it's almost ridiculous when you see it, because people making 150 and literally it's true 180,000 are getting a subsidy for health insurance when they could afford it way more than the others, which actually brings up the cost for everybody ultimately, especially the ones who need it.
Amazing call, Mike. So just to be clear, this started, 5 years ago, right? Basically around COVID is when these subsidies started to really ramp up, and it was allowed to be used by people making like 400% of the poverty level or something like that, something crazy.
That's exactly what the number is, yes.
So if you make 4x the poverty level, you qualify for these subsidies with the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah, and then if you have more dependents, obviously you can extend that, because obviously you have households. Anyway, it's a formula, but it doesn't make sense. But it's coming out to be a great move for them, because it's giving them this leverage. They're going to hold out until all of this gets out, and until even people on the right are going to get angry, so they've got some serious leverage with this thing, man.
I think you're right to also note it would be smart for the Republicans to get ahead of it and maybe think of their own plan, whatever that looks like. I mean, this stuff is so complicated, but they got to have some answer here to this, is your point.
I agree. If you would extend it and offset it with Doge cuts, and now you can validate it with saying, hey, we're going to cut $300 billion or $200 billion, but we're going to go ahead and allow the things to go forward. It's going to be a wash somehow, some way to validate it and justify it. But I think they're going to have to extend these things for another year, or else they're going to basically be shooting themselves in the foot.
That is interesting, Mike. Great perspective. I appreciate that. That is an excellent call. How about he's the 9 o'clock hour caller of the day, and then we'll get to our caller of the day coming up, who is pre-9 o'clock. If that's okay with you, John, we'll make up the rules as we go.
Sure.
All right. Top it, Wes and Gladstone. The floor is yours. What's up?
Hey, really enjoyed what Mike had to say. That really puts puts everything in perspective. I had no idea that people making that type of an income were getting subsidized by us, the taxpayers. I think the good thing is, like you said, in the past, Republicans would have folded, but Trump's got the right people around him. They need to get out in front of this thing, just like Mike said. Oh, and this all goes back to John McCain, who just wanted to stick it to Trump. Get out in front of this thing and message this thing and tell people exactly what's going on. Because my only question to Mike is, how many people that vote for Trump, how many working people that voted for Trump are receiving government subsidies?
Well, I bet you it's more than you think. I guarantee you. I guarantee you it's more than you think.
No, I would
Listen,
like to know.
there's 25 million people using the Affordable Care Act, and they're not like all just liberals who love Obama. They're doing it because it's the best option they've got out there if they're not getting it through an employer or something like that. So I think it's a lot more than either of us realize.
Well, real quick, back to these people in Oregon. Okay, both of them walked away from health care benefits.
Yes, yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm up against it. You're right. You're absolutely right. I'm up against it, Wes. I'm sorry. You're spot on. Those people in Oregon I played earlier on the clip, I mean, they were teachers and union workers, and they walked away from the job.